Glorious Twins Radio Ibadan. We've got everything from the hottest music to the most engaging conversations, exclusive interviews. We are not just a radio station. We are a community that brings people together through the power of sound. So what are you waiting for? Tune in to Glorious Twins Radio Ibadan.
Come on, turn the radio on.
Showing face for crime fighter. Rich man with his money, we now they see their face for crime fighter. Tell me something I don't know why. Rich man go they yalla kuya, one man go they shine. Rich man go they yalla kuya, one man go they shine. They gonna lead us well. Don't let this nation to fall inside well. Mr. President,
Lead us well.
if you be governor,
Govern us well.
if you be senator,
Anytime well.
if you be
Police well, now they take bribe. Lead us well. Govern us well.
if you be senator,
Anytime well.
if you be
Police well, now they take bribe.
well, you know the brother, transportation not day, and our road is not good oh. What about the NEPA people no get light? Everybody just say Allah. Well, now they know how we want survive. Many youth ready for work, but as work now they know how we want survive. We will be giant of Africa, but to get Vicente Ghana now yeah. My God, policeman go see white, he go tell you say I say that thing na red. Tell me something I do to make on and lead us well. Don't let this nation to fall inside well. Mr. President,
Lead us well.
From colonial corridors to campaign trails, from power brokers to people's voices. This is Legacy and Power from your number one outstanding radio, Glorious Twins Radio. Don't forget, we are located at Islamic Complex Basharun Ibadan, Oyo State. And I am Adenike Yusuf, aka Omobautu.
party, people destroy people na the name of the party. Election for my country na party. Wayo, arranging on me. People wait for them things to the living cold. This na disgrace, I am so ashamed. We don't collection permit, collect trading permit, radio permit. You see the bun shop, you want tell me so you don't know when.
Welcome to another episode of Legacy and Power. Don't forget that on this show, we uncover the lives of Nigerian political icons who didn't just lead but left a great impact on the soul of the nation.
Police well, now they take bribe. Lead us well. Govern us well. Anytime well. Police well, now they take.
Today, I'm not gonna be doing it alone. I have my doctor. Doctor.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Always happy to be here with you. And congratulations on the coronation of the new Olubadan of Ibadan land.
Oh, happy coronation and happy independence in advance.
Yeah.
Food in a day, brother, water not day. And our country not good, every day party for day for all night. One man wait it, my drummer, them go show him face for grand fighter. Rich man wait it, money, we know they see them.
Today, what are we talking about? We are talking about a woman of virtue, a woman of integrity. Some know her as a coach, some as a mentor, some as feminist, some as a reformer, some as a symbol of integrity, and others as a source of inspiration.
Anytime well. Police well, now they take bribe. Lead us well. Govern us well. Anytime well.
Lead us well.
Police well, now they take bribe.
Well, you know the brother, transportation not day, and our road is not good oh.
Today, we are going to be talking about Dora Ikem Akwili.
Survive, my God, many is ready for work, but at work not they know how they want survive. We be giant of Africa, but to get Vicente Ghana now yeah. My God, policeman go see white, he go tell you say I say that thing na red. Tell me something I do to make gonna lead us well. No let this nation to fall inside well.
Dora Ikem Akwili was born on July 14, 1954 in Makurdi, Benue State, though her roots is traced to Agulu in Anambra State. From a young age, Dora was raised with discipline, honesty, and the belief that education was a pathway to dignity. She attended primary and secondary school with distinction, excelling in her studies. Her brilliance took her to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where she studied pharmacy. Her performance was outstanding. She graduated with honors and became a shining star among her peers. Not satisfied with just one degree, Dora pursued advanced studying, earning a PhD in ethnopharmacology, the science of how people use plants and herbs for medicine.
Your mother go show you face for grand fighter. Rich man with it money, your mom we now they see their face for grand fighter. Tell me something I don't know why. Rich man go dey like one man go dey shine.
Before stepping into government service, Dora was first an academic researcher and teacher. She taught at UNN, mentoring students and publishing works that gave her both national and international recognition. Those who knew her describe her as disciplined, principled, and deeply passionate about the health and well-being of ordinary Nigerians. In 2001, Nigeria faced one of its deadliest public health crises, the plague of fake and counterfeit drugs. Across markets, pharmacies, and hospitals, substandard medicine flowed freely. Many Nigerians lost their lives not because they lacked access to drugs, but because the drugs available were deadly limitation. It was into this storm that Dora Akuili stepped as the Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control.
Mr. President, lead us well, govern us well, anytime well, police well, not the thing right, lead us well, govern us well, anytime well, police well, not the thing right.
Her appointment was historic, but her mission was dangerous. Fake drug cartels were powerful, wealthy, and ruthless. They have infiltrated the health system, and previous leaders had shield away from confronting them. But Dora Akuili was different. She refused to be intimidated. From 2001 to 2008, Dora Akuili transformed NAFDAC from a struggling agency into one of the most respected government bodies in Nigeria. She waged war on counterfeiters, raiding markets, shutting down illegal factories, and burning fake drugs in public to clear message. Nigeria would no longer be a dumping ground for killers disguised as businessmen. Doctor, welcome on board once again.
It's my pleasure.
What can you tell us about Dora Akuili? Because I see her as a very strong woman. Like one of her speech I actually listened to, I was like shocked. She's very brave, like she's brave, courageous, and ready to talk when it's necessary. She's actually intentional about her mission. So what can you tell me about Dora Akuili?
From her background, we can discover that she's somebody who faces reality,
Okay.
and somebody that believes in uniqueness of our profession. She don't just study pharmacy. She studied pharmacy and learned the rudiment of roots, what they can use roots to get from for her health.
Okay.
But the fact remains that Nigeria, being what we are in Nigeria, we are always looking for the fastest and the easiest way to earn money.
How, sir?
Like people using counterfeit ingredients, substandard ingredients, producing drugs in a place that is not worthy of producing ordinary water, and things that we know it's dangerous. It is very dangerous to human health, and because of the fact that they derive pleasure and gain much more from those things, they don't bother, they don't care about what human health is. They don't really want to know the outcome of those their activities, what it is to human. But here is a woman that has believed in the reality of sense, who has believed that we must do it right, whatever it will cost us, however it might be, we need to do it right, so that Nigeria will not continue to suffer in problem. One of the greatest problem in Nigeria is that we value less of human.
Okay.
When we don't value human, we can play away with lives.
But
We can really handle human life the way we feel it should be, which is not right.
Doctor, but most people believe at that time, believe that she was power driven.
In the reality of sense,
Like a woman should be a kind of a second class, submissive, straight-jacketed. But this woman is just too bold and fearless.
May I say this?
Okay.
Whether you are a man or a woman, the attributes that is inborn in you is a factor.
Okay.
Your background is a factor. Your personal vision is a factor. Whether a man or a woman, it is what you intend to be and how you presented yourself that matters. Whether you are a man or a woman, when you want to obtain your qualification from university or polytechnic, it wasn't written that you are a man before you are given first class, or it's only man that can obtain first class. The first set of women in Nigeria that drove the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria is a woman.
Yes.
And we have series of women who has done a lot of things that is remarkable. Then why are we saying that women should be the second class citizen? No. To my personal point of view, it shouldn't be.
Okay.
Women, except the fact that our tradition, our culture, and the religion doesn't really give women the type of the posts, the type of ways they should be handled. And even to some women, in some women they have that inferiority complex issue. Okay. And while some also, they have that pride in them that when I got to the power, I can do and undo. But that shouldn't be the case. Your focus in life matters in whatever you are doing. Your focus of what you want to achieve from what you are doing. Not because you are in power makes you to be much more superior. No, it is your focus, your well-being, and your background that I want to tell people about.
But doctor, she actually faced threat and assassination.
That's not,
as a woman, isn't that too too complex?
That is what
and complicated.
That is what we must expect of a society like this.
Okay.
Because when somebody is making free money, and you want to curb him or her from making free money, and is connected, you want to use all the power to suppress you.
Okay.
That is African for us. There is no true way to that. When somebody feels that what he's doing or he is doing, he or she, what he is doing is right to his or her point of view, or she felt that she can do it the way she wants and she has the power to do it, you will see that person wants to oppress at all costs.
Okay.
Want to depress whoever that comes within his or her way. Okay. But a woman like this doesn't see it as a threat. She sees it as a means of boldness.
Okay.
She sees that in them days as a means to make herself more valuable. That they will now see them as the reality of what they are. That why are you threatening somebody who say you should do something right if you are really doing it right? If you are doing it right, you will go along with him. But because of the fact that you are not ready to do it right and you are doing it the way it shouldn't be, that is why you will want to give a threat.
Okay, doctor, thank you for that beautiful one.
Your mother go show in face for grand fighter. Rich man waste money, your man we know they see their face for grand fighter. Tell me something I don't know why. Rich man go ala paya, poor man go do charm. Rich man go ala paya, poor man go do charm. They wanna lead us well, no let this nation to fall in sad word. Mr. President, lead us well. If you be governor, govern us well. If you be senator, senate and well. So this way we're not the take brand. Oh yeah, lead us well. No, govern us well. Senate and well. Lead us well. So this way we're not the take brand. Well, you know brother, transportation not there. And our road is not good though. What about the NEPA people who get light? Everybody just say Allah. Well, not they know how we want survive.
Doctor, like what could have motivated her to move from technocracy to politics?
We should understand one thing about Africa and Nigerians.
Okay.
If you are not there, if you can't beat them, you have to join them.
them.
And if you want to join them, you join the reality.
Okay.
You face the reality at the way it is. If you are a technocrat, you are a businessman, you are an educated guru, and you are not in politics, there is something lacking.
How?
Because you may not be able to give the exact thing that you want to give to the public the way it should be. Because in Nigeria, politics is one of the major criteria of our livelihood. Because most of the politicians dictate what should go and what should not.
Sir.
But now, all we need is that the actual set of people that are viable are the set of people that we need in politics.
Doctor, livelihood in quotes, like, can you expatiate more on that livelihood, because it's kind of confusing and there are more to that livelihood. So can you
if you are a doctor in Nigeria,
okay,
you are not part of the medical body, the association, you cannot go to some extent.
okay,
If you are a lawyer, same thing. An architect, same thing. So politics is an inborn thing in Nigeria. Even at home, within the children, within mothers, children, and the household, there is always politics is part of human life.
okay,
Politics is purely part of human life. So we must disagree to agree. We must agree to disagree. We must bring up our opinion. We must deliberate on issues. So to my personal point of view, politics is beyond just having parties, political parties and things like that. No. It's a way of life. How we deliberate on things, how we bring in the reality into our tables, we discuss it, we finalize, and we make it a policy.
okay. Thank you, doctor. So how did our work inspire the women in leadership?
A vision. Ever since she was in as a teacher, in a lecturer in a university,
Okay.
and the type of study she studied made her to personally exempt herself, and she has proven to Nigerians that not a woman is beyond kitchen.
Okay.
A woman should be beyond go and sit down there, go and stand up there, do this, do. She has made herself an epitome of greatness in terms of education, in terms of profession, in terms of discipline, in terms of mentorship, in terms of agitating for leadership, agitating for reality, bringing back the lost glory even in the profession. In the profession, in the day they feel that what can the pharmacist do? What is special about pharmacy is that a doctor is better than them and things like that. But she has made them the whole world to see that there are different stages in life, and when you get to a certain stage, you have to bring out the values in you, and it is the values in you that will make people to see you as an exceptional person, that will make people to recognize the exceptionality in you, and will make people to see what you can add as value to the present generation and the upcoming ones.
But the thing is that, like, moving from that as the Director General of NAFDAC, she was actually given a ministerial appointment, that is Minister of Information and Technology. Is that not quite contradictory? Like, Minister of Information and Communication and Director General of NAFDAC.
We should understand. We
you
should understand one thing.
Okay.
In Nigeria, ministerial appointment, managerial appointment, professional appointment. There are three set of things. In most cases, if you give, look at let's view it from this perspective.
Okay.
In banks, whatever you study, when you get to the bank, they will train you up for what they really need you for. All what you need is you have an educational background,
Okay.
that can make you to fit into that post that you want to be. Then, by the time you get to your seat, nobody is trained as a manager from scratch. But eventually, every profession will train you to be a manager at the end of the day, because you have to, whatever you are doing, you're a doctor. Eventually, you have to manage your hospital.
Okay.
You have to manage your people. You have to be a personnel. You have to be an accountant. So the higher you are going, the better it's going to be, because that is when you will actualize your vision. The ministerial appointment is quite different from professional appointment. It is because of our past experiences that has made the federal government of then see that this woman can handle this area. If she can do this, she can also do this.
So what of if the government think that Minister of Health rather than Minister of Information and Communication, wouldn't that be better?
We must be sincere with ourselves.
Okay.
In this nation.
Okay.
There are some not up to 3 to 5 professions that you can hardly find another person that in that field to minister them.
Okay.
To be in their managerial field. I have never seen a time in Nigeria that you go and call an accountant to be the Minister of Education, Minister of Health. You hardly see that, because the body of health practitioner, they have built themselves to the extent that you can hardly penetrate inward. So it's a stage. But when you see Minister of Interior, when you see Minister of Information, how many do we have journalists as a Minister of Information? How many do we have accountants as a Minister of Finance? So the level of we are growing by day. Okay. Nigeria is a developing nation. So the more we are growing, the more we are fixing things the way it should be. It is in Nigeria that you see a lawyer handling the Ministry of Power.
And it works.
And it works. But you cannot let's see an accountant or an engineer handling the Ministry of judiciary section. They will tell you you are not a learned person. That's what the lawyers will tell you. But in Nigeria, you can see a lawyer coming to other fields, other professions, to handle technical posts. But because of the fact that we are growing, the more we are growing, the better it's getting to be. In the then days, we can model things up, but now things are getting better and clearer. We are having information personnel to handle informations now. We have technocrats that understand the technology of information. They understand the prerequisite and what it takes to be in the information sector. That is why we feel that things should be able to work better the way we are going.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
We want survive. Many you ready for work, but that's what not do now. We want survive. We will be giant of Africa, but we got the center Ghana now, yeah. My God, policeman go see white, he go tell you say I said that thing, now tell me something like it to make one and lead us well. Don't let this nation to fall inside well. Mr. President, lead us well. Govern us well. If you receive us anytime well. Police well, not the thing right. Lead us well. Govern us well. If you receive us anytime well. Police well, not the thing right. I like the way we can kiss the name of the party. People destroy people.
Our work did not go unnoticed. Dora Akuili received over 900 awards, both nationally and internationally. One of the highest numbers ever received by a Nigerian public servant. Among them was the Integrity Award from Transparency International in 2003. A recognition given only to those who show rare moral courage in governance. These awards were not just plaques on our wall. They were evidence that one woman's fight in Nigeria could inspire the entire world. Dora Akuili's impact went far beyond health and information management. She redefined leadership in Nigerian politics. She is a symbol of courage in governance, a role model for women in politics, a redefinition of power, a legacy of integrity.
Food in a day, brother, water no day. And our country not good, every day party for day for all night. While my way tip my drum and them go show his face for grand fighter. Rich man way tip money, we know they see their face for grand fighter. Tell me something I don't know why. Rich man go dey ala poor man go dey shine. Rich man go dey ala.
Doctor, so what lasting reform did she give to NAFDAC and other health sectors in Nigeria?
As I've rightly said, she has made the discipline, pharmacy, an epitome that everyone in the whole world can look at and see that we need, we can build a nation where our product can be of standard, with the same thing that happens anywhere in the whole world.
Okay.
Because of the fact that she has made the industries that was handling drugs before, even ordinary our local drugs, our herbs and things like that. It was produced just anyhow. Then it was very, very dangerous for human consumption. But when Dora Akuile came, she resuscitated the industry and made them to produce something that is worthy of almost of the same standard with what is happening at the other end of the world. And she has been able to reform the nation, that we don't need to poison ourselves because we want to live. Okay. We need to do it into the standard. There should be regulations, because most people that we are doing it, then they don't know the importance of the regulation. They don't feel that there is need for a regulation. They are just doing it to make money. But she has made a legacy that whatever you want to do, however you want to do it in such a way that humanly it should be accepted, and it will not be a cause for the oncoming generation to be used.
Doctor, was there no regulations before she came into
there was, but the fact remains that the type of regulation we are having then is just bypassing. There was room for bypassing. Everybody can do it the way they want. There was no proper regulation. We still have some loopholes, but the fact remains that when she came, she was able to sanitize the industry to a certain extent. Okay. And that has been the legacy that she has laid, that there can still be a follow-up on till now.
Okay, we'll be right back. When we come back from that short break, we'll listen to the speech of Dora Akuile.
Anytime where police where now they take back. They lead us where you know power not where. Anytime where police where now they take back. Well, you know brother, transportation not there, and our road is not good. What about the NEPA people who get light? Everybody just say Allah. When not they how we want survive. Many you ready for work, but that's what not they how we want survive. We will be giant of Africa, but to get the center Ghana now, yeah. My God, policeman go see white, he go tell you say I said that thing, tell me something I do to make one and lead us well. Don't let this nation to fall inside well. Mr. President, lead us well. Govern us well. If you listen to us anytime well.
Millions of Nigerians are being discriminated against in various parts of this country, where they are born, where their forefathers lived, based on the so-called state of origin. The founding fathers of Nigeria had a dream of building a united, prosperous, and developed nation state, where social justice reigns. We also have to continue to dream, because once we stop dreaming, then life is gone. In conclusion, I am convinced that Nigeria will work and fulfill its destiny. I therefore look forward to collaborating with other delegates to chart the way for a better Nigeria. We all want to see a positively transformed Nigeria. I therefore urge all of us to work individually and collectively so as to set the right agenda for Nigeria of our dream. Mr. Chairman, distinguished delegates, I leave you with the words of this Greek proverb. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never.
My grandma them go show his face for grand fighter. Rich man with money, we know they see their face for grand fighter. Tell me something I don't know why. Rich man go dey alakoya, oh man go dey shine. Rich man go dey alakoya, oh man go dey shine. They wanna lead us well. Don't let this.
Doctor, have we actually fulfilled the dream?
To go. A nation that we find ourselves,
Okay.
that integrity is not our priority. Humanitarian factors are not our priority. And greatness, money is our major priority. That is where we are getting it wrong. But we are still improving. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one movement in a true direction. So if you continue in such manner, we have people like that continuously. We may not have them 100% at once, but gradually things will be improving, and we'll be able to get to the dream nation that we call ourselves.
Doctor, is that problem from the grassroots or from the higher level?
Sincerely,
because you mentioned something like greed and
sincerely, the national issue is from both. We can't have people at the top without people at the grassroots. What notion does the people at the grassroots have for this nation? What is the principle behind most of the people that are great now in this nation? They started from somewhere. Their background are what made them to be great, and they are working on that. And those people that are corrupt, they started from somewhere. It is still the same background that made them to be corrupt. So what we need to do is to change our orientation to life, is to have a vision of greatness, have a nation that we can call ourselves. Stop the philosophy of at all costs I must money. The philosophy of I must depress, I must oppress. The philosophy of whatever it will cost me, I must find a way to work things out. So if we all have the same vision of greatness, then people at the helm of affair will not be thinking of having 50 to 100 200 cars, and somebody within their own family will not be able to afford for a daily meal. That is where it starts. And somebody who is also within a poor background will not look at himself that all the people that are up there, they are robbers, they are still, they are that. He cannot, if he himself cannot steal, cannot rob, he may not make it. So a poor mentality is our problem. We should remove the poor mentality and the depressing mentality.
Thank you, Doctor.
Them go show you face for crime fighter. Rich man wey sick money, we now dey see their face for crime fighter. Tell me something I don't know why. Rich man go dey yalla one man go dey shine.
Today, Dora's legacy continues to inspire. In classroom, she is taught as a model of integrity in government circles. Her name is invoked as a challenge to mediocrity. For women, she remains a reminder that leadership is not reserved for men only, but for the bold. Dora Ikem Akunyili's story is one of the most compelling chapters in Nigeria's political history. She was a woman who faced darkness and light, who risked her life so that others could live, and who spoke truth even when silence could have saved her.
Many youth ready for work, but that's what not doing. Now they want survive. We will be giant of Africa, but we got the side of Ghana now. Yeah, my God, policeman go see white. He go tell you say I said that thing. Now tell me something I do to make one and he does well. Don't let this nation to fall inside.
In 2014, unfortunately, Dora Akunyili passed away from a long battle with cancer. Nigerians mourned deeply for her death. Her death was not just the loss of a person, but of a national conscience. Tribute poured in from across the world. Presidents, leaders, professionals, and ordinary Nigerians celebrated our courage, service, and sacrifice.
I am so ashamed of collection permit, collect trading permit, review permit. You see the bun shop, you want tell me so you don't know when them pay. Why you dey make us dey live in to make other lead us well? No let this.
Doctor, we're already running out of time. So, what's your advice to young women who wants to be like Legend Dora Akunyili, but are very afraid and did not have the courage to pursue goals like her because of the society?
What I would rather say is that whatever you are doing in life, number one thing is your vision and be focused.
Okay.
When you are focused and you have the vision that it's going to be done, you are sure it may take you time. Legacy is not a thing that you gain money out of. Legacy is a thing that you live, and it will tell people about you whether you are alive or not. Life is not all about richness. Life is not all about just being great. Heroes are not the richest. Heroes in Africa generally, they are not the richest. They are the ones who are focused, who want to face the reality, and they want to bring in the best to reality, and they want their names to pick for them after them. And that's be a legacy for every living being, not just a woman, not just a man, whether rich, whether poor, young and old. We must have a legacy to leave behind us.
Thank you, Doctor. We must have a legacy to put behind. Doctor, we're well, you
know, brother, transportation of and our road is not good. What about the NEPA people? Who get light? Everybody just say Allah. Well, not they know how we want survive. My God, many is ready for work, but at work not they know how they want survive. We be giant of Africa, but to get Vicente Ghana now again. My God, policeman go see white. He go tell you I say that thing. Tell me something like.
We've run out of time, Doctor. Can you say goodbye to the house?
Goodbye, everybody in the house. Happy celebration, happy Independence Days in advance, and may God continue to bless our nation, Nigeria.
Thank you for that wonderful engagement, Doctor. And to our people, thank you very much. And come on Monday from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and I say happy Independence in advance. I remain Adenike Yusuf, aka Omoba Otomi. Say Gobe.
Rock with it, girls. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to experience a radio station like no other?